Good morning, everybody. Welcome. It is the first Big Gay 5K. I am Josh Gay, live from Florida, and we have the lovely Heklina joining us from San Francisco. Good morning, Heklina.
Good morning, Josh. How are you? I'm so thrilled to be the first drag queen in this whole series and so proud to represent San Francisco. You're
I
looking
am doing
wonderful this
fantastic.
morning.
Oh, thank you. I'm doing great this morning. It's a lovely day here in Florida, but I am so thrilled to be a part of this race series, the first in four races. We're starting in San Francisco, and we're going to go through Miami, New York, and New Orleans, one of my favorite places.
Oh, me too. I love your
So
name, Josh.
my name, oh well, yeah, it's no relation. I tried to get this to be my 5K, but they wouldn't go for it.
So you're actually it's ironic because you're actually not gay.
No, I'm not. I'm a straight guy with a wife, a kid, a dog. I'm kind of a boring straight guy. I'm sorry.
You never got a lot of flack for your last name.
I actually did. I did a lot. The whole "is your middle name is" type of joke. But honestly, it's what gave me an avenue to learn more about the LGBT plus community and really teach me about being a little bit of a better ally, how to listen a little bit better. Because when people start picking on you for the perception that you're gay, well, it becomes a little one of those things where why is that even a joke? Why is that a bad thing? So I have fun with it. I'll joke that if it came to it, I'd be a pretty good bear. So
Okay, I love that. We're going to
well,
find out
so
because during the course of the show today, I'm going to get you to take off little pieces of clothing. So we'll
oh
see how
my
much of
god.
a bear you are.
Well, the good part is this is shoulders down. So what you don't know is there's only one piece of clothing already on, and it's just this guy. That's it.
Oh, I like that.
Uh oh. Well, we're getting in trouble on a Saturday morning,
I know,
but
right? It's a little bit too
let's.
early for that.
It is. Haven't had enough coffee or whiskey. So let's talk a little bit about where we are. We're San Francisco. We are a great community, and it's a great day for a 5K. I think we actually have a weather forecast for us at, let's see, 71 degrees. Actually, Heklina, you're there. This may not be quite accurate, right?
Well, it's right now it's about 61 degrees, but today it's going to get to a high supposedly of 75 degrees. It's a gorgeous day here in the Bay Area, regardless of the wildfires. The skies are looking pretty blue and clear, and it is a good day for a race.
Awesome. Let's take actually a live look. We actually have the ability to live look at San Francisco. Oh, look, it's the Bay Area. Is that Alcatraz in the background? Tell me a little bit
That
about
is
this area that
Alcatraz,
we're
and
seeing.
that is Pier 39 right in front of it. And yes, as you can see, it is a gorgeous day for a race around the bay. And there
That's
we have a live
fantastic.
shot, an aerial shot of downtown San Francisco. Beautiful day once again. And there hasn't really been this clarity lately with the sky, but yeah, it's really nice to see that the skies are clearing up. We've had some really bad haze from the wildfires, so it's actually less. The air quality has been bad, and but today it looks like the air quality is a good quality for a race.
That's fantastic. I'm glad it cleared up for us. And now let's talk a little bit about what this is. This is a virtual 5K. It's a race that you participate in your own time, no crowds, no nobody saying, "All right, on your mark, get set, go." No worries about bad weather because if there were bad weather, you could you could just bypass it. You could run when you want, where you want. Heck, if you're on a treadmill, you could do this race. It's all on cyberspace, and it's a way for us to bring people together. I'm used to on a Saturday morning getting out early and announcing a 5K live, having
Right.
hundreds of people crowded around the cannon blast to start the race. But now we're stuck at home and we've got to find ways to connect. And that's really what we're trying to do with these virtual 5Ks and the Big Gay 5K series is basically try to find a way to bring a community together in a healthy and safe way. So let's ask real quick, Heklina, I talked a little bit about what I would be doing on a Saturday. you are obviously in your apartment on a Saturday morning. I think that you had bigger plans. What would you normally be doing if it weren't for the COVID pandemic?
Well, right now I would be sleeping, but at this hour. But actually, yes, I did have, in the my drag queens are mostly nocturnal creatures. We don't really get out during the daytime. So I'd be sleeping in from my gig last night, and I'd be getting ready to do a show tonight. I was asked to do a birthday party later today, but I still do not feel safe going out into crowds of people. So I am glad I'm able to work virtually, if nothing else. But yes, it definitely has changed how I operate. And much like you, my drag has become much easier because I'm only in drag from here up. So you don't want to know
There we
what I
go.
look like below. Or maybe you
That's
do.
it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Again, it's pretty early, so we haven't gotten into the debauchery yet. But what we're going to ask you guys to do, we are on Facebook, the Big Gay 5K. You guys can find us, San Francisco. I want to see your pictures out on your route. When you start your race, take a selfie, post it on the internet. Let us see that you're engaging. And the best part here is yes, this is a San Francisco themed race, but you can do this from anywhere. So let's say you have a good time today and you're running in the San Francisco race. If there's a race next week, there is. It's a perfect time for you to experience virtually a different community. So this is a good way for us to engage with San Francisco, and then we're going to travel around the country virtually, all from the comfort of wherever it is you choose to run. And again, it's a perfect day in San Francisco, but you can run from anywhere that you are. So actually, let me ask you, Heklina, what if you could run a 5K right now in San Francisco? Where would you go? What would be your ideal spot to run in?
Well, if anybody knows, if you know San Francisco, I probably would run through Golden Gate Park. Golden Gate Park is very close to my house. I would run through Golden Gate Park and then I would cut through the Presidio. And then I would run through the Presidio, run through the Marina, and then North Beach, maybe through Chinatown. And then I would cut through Civic Center and end up, of course, in the Castro, just in time for some Bloody Marys or mimosas.
Oh, there we go. Bloody Marys or mimosas in the morning. It doesn't get any better than that. So we want to see your pictures. We want to see where you guys are. And to reward you for your efforts, we do have an awesome shirt. We've got an awesome medal. We can
Oh,
have our folks put these up. Oh, look, there we go.
there we
There
go.
we go.
Oh,
Move out of the way there. We have this awesome Big Gay 5K San Francisco t-shirt. Fantastic looking shirt. But my
oh,
favorite
nice.
is the medal. If you look at this medal, you can kind of see, you see a lot of the highlights from San Francisco. You see the trolley car, the Golden Gate Bridge, but you see this kind of sliver of a rainbow there. If you participate in all four of our races, you see that it connects San Francisco, Miami, New York, New Orleans to bring this community together.
Oh, that is
And
so clever
so
how they do that.
it's fantastic. And it's a $45. It gets you the medal, the t-shirt, and today is actually a very important day too. It's Freddie for a Day. It's Freddie Mercury Day, and we are benefiting the Mercury Phoenix Trust. And we'll tell you a little bit more about them a little bit later in the broadcast. So it's a fantastic opportunity to get out there and run. It's a fantastic opportunity to do some good in the community. And again, it's a way to bring all of us together, people in different corners of the country, bring you together in a healthy and safe way. So let me ask you, though, a little bit, Heklina. I'm going to kind of go off script here, and I want to ask you about the community in San Francisco, about the LGBT community in San Francisco. Talk to me about that. It's obviously a vibrant community, but talk to me about what's going on now and kind of where this community has been through all of the years.
Well, throughout all the years, that's that's a big story. But yes, the I guess the gay rights movement in San Francisco. San Francisco was a pivotal part of the gay rights movement, and it really kind of exploded in the early 1970s with people like Harvey Milk fighting for the rights of gays and lesbians everywhere. And then, of course, these rights did come slowly. Through a lot of fighting. We went through a really rough time in the 80s. I mean, that's an understatement. When AIDS did come out, the AIDS epidemic really, really took a toll on the San Francisco gay community and like the gay communities everywhere. Then I moved to San Francisco in early 1991 when AIDS was still very much ravaging the community. I was happy to see the medications come out to really help manage HIV. It's not the death sentence it used to be, but it's still very much it is still very much with us, still very much an issue, and there's still people dying of AIDS, all around. But I don't want to dwell on the death too much. I want to dwell on the fact that the community has persevered through that. Right now, of course, we've gotten strides like gay marriage, gays in the military, transgender rights are very much in the forefront right now. So I'm kind of putting everything into a real tiny, like Reader's Digest
Right.
version of the movement. But right now, what we're going through is, of course, the Castro is very muted because all of the bars and restaurants are closed. But we are still seeing the grit and the ingenuity of the gay community in that we're having drag shows and bars out on the sidewalks in the Castro. Actually, one thing I have been doing here in San Francisco is I've been doing Meals on Heels, where people can order drag queens to come to their door to perform on their sidewalk right in front of their houses. They deliver food and then they do a lip sync right on the sidewalk for them. So I've been doing that. Just like we're doing today, we're trying to bring some levity to people during what, let's face it, is kind of a rough time for everybody, and we're doing our little part to entertain people here, right here in San Francisco. You can order a drag queen to your door, and that is through the Oasis website, oasis.com. So I'll be doing that. I've been doing that every other Friday. It's really been great. It's a way for me to feel connected and a way for the people to feel part of the community too. To have it, I mean, it is quite something to have a drag queen come to your door with a lip sync
I
and food and cocktails.
I can imagine. So, what is your go-to lip sync? What is your go-to song?
Well, I don't try and be too cutting edge with my because I don't know what kind of person I'm going to be delivering food to. So I stick with the standards. I do like I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. I do
Solid.
Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler. I do Liza Minnelli, Celine Dion, just the classics. I don't
Nice.
want
I
to,
love it.
be too, I don't want to be too vulgar, I might
No,
be
of course, of
delivering
course.
a meal to somebody's grandmother or something. I don't want to be you know, too dirty, risque,
Too saucy. Too saucy.
too
Yeah.
saucy.
So
Exactly.
we we did talk a little bit. No, I don't want to be too down here. We did talk a little bit about the impact that HIV and AIDS has had on the gay community. And one of the great things about this race, we mentioned it is Freddie Mercury Day. People around the world are participating in Freddie for a Day, but we are benefiting the Mercury Phoenix Trust. And in the last year, they have donated over $500,000 to uh, 102 projects, 16 different countries. They are all over the place fighting globally for awareness and funding in the global fight against AIDS. So they are an amazing charity partner. You can log on right now, even if you don't want to get the t-shirt and the medal, you can actually still donate on mercuryphoenixtrust.com or through our website, thebiggay5k.com. Heklina, I'm not sure. Talk to me a little bit. Are you familiar with the Mercury Phoenix Trust and the work that they do, or are there some local organizations that do a lot of good there in San Francisco?
Well, there are, I'm not too familiar with the Mercury Phoenix Trust because there are so many organizations locally here in San Francisco that have helped people with AIDS. There is the AIDS Emergency Fund, there's the San Francisco AIDS Project, there's the Names Project, there is the AIDS Housing Alliance. There's Project Open Hand, which delivered food to people who were homebound. Of course, now that HIV is a manageable condition, Project Open Hand is delivering meals to people who have other life-threatening issues like cancer or stuff like that. It's gratifying to know that HIV has become more of a manageable condition here in the United States. We have to remember that it's still very much an issue in third world places where the medications are not available to people. But these organizations are still helping people with other life-threatening issues. So, but I very much support the Mercury Phoenix Trust, any organization that helps. And I know that people right now are having hard times with COVID. A lot of people have been laid off and unemployed. So I'm really, really grateful to people who can spare some money to donate to the Mercury Phoenix Trust. Um, I know it can be difficult to figure out where to put your money to, but this is a very worthwhile organization.
Yeah, and that's one of the beautiful parts about the Mercury Phoenix Trust is they actually are kind of a feeder to other organizations, local organizations, and heck, they're in I think almost 60 countries now. So, like you mentioned, as sometimes backwards as the United States seems, we are on the forefront of a lot of things, and AIDS and HIV research is one of them. And there are people around the world that are not as advanced with HIV and AIDS research. So the Mercury Phoenix Trust really battles around the world to help out all of the large NGOs, the well known charities, but they also love grassroots charities. You were talking about some of the meal deliveries and some of the things that benefit people in San Francisco, and those are the types of things that the Mercury Phoenix Trust does, not just in one area, they do it around the world. So they are a fantastic organization. Plus, it's in memory of one of the coolest people ever to live, and it was actually set up by Brian May and Roger Taylor, the former members of Queen. Actually, I guess they're still in
They're
Queen.
still, yeah, they're still performing with Adam Lambert,
I
who
know
I'm
that is
I'm sorry to say is no comparison to Freddie Mercury,
he
but still.
he's no Freddie Mercury, but man, he's a talented guy. I mean, he really is. I absolutely love the work that he's done. Nobody can replace Freddie Mercury, but if somebody's going to try, I got to say I'm a fan.
Yeah. And I kind of think it's great that Brian May and the other band members are continuing the spirit of Queen. But yeah, nobody can replace Freddie.
No. So we are live on Facebook right now. I would love to hear from some of you guys out there, some of you folks that are running. Now, I get it. It's early. Some of you may not be going on your run until later today. That's fine. Engage with us later. We actually have a Dropbox where you can upload any of your files, your videos. You can send us well wishes. You can tell us what you think of our show. And it does. It looks like we've had a little bit of trouble with Facebook. Oh my gosh, we have a furry friend joining us. So I'll get real quick through the formality. We set up a Dropbox because there was some issue with Facebook. That's fine. We will take care of posting them. Post your photos, post your videos on the Dropbox link on our event page. But who is this?
This is my cat Dexter. He's a sucker for attention. So I don't know if you've heard him. This whole broadcast so far, he's been at my feet meowing for attention. So I had to pick him up for a second just to shut him up.
I actually have
He needs attention constantly.
My coworker, my dog is this is actually his couch. So he
Is he there with
my
you?
Yeah, he's here, hold on, let's see if I can snoozing. So he this is my office slash home for since March. So this is his couch. He hangs out with me, and he doesn't leave my side all day. So he's learned to keep quiet during Dad's work. So
Oh, that's very good.
it's
Well,
fun.
Dexter has not learned that yet.
Cats have a mind of their own. I actually have to
They
shut my
really do.
door. I have two cats, and they love to just lay on the keyboard. It's absolutely crazy. So I do want to know a little bit more about this show and this tour that you had planned on. I know that it, it's not fun that we've had to kind of shut the lights out on a lot of our fun events, but let's talk about the show that you would have been doing if it weren't for COVID.
Well, so we do a live stage production of The Golden Girls here in San Francisco every Christmas, and it has become kind of like the Nutcracker here in San Francisco. It's hugely popular. We do about like 30 shows at a 500 seat theater. It's like a San Francisco institution. And we've started going on tour with this production. Last year, we went on tour to Portland, Seattle, Boise, and Salt Lake City. And with the Golden Girls Live, it was very successful. And this year, we were going to add Las Vegas and Phoenix to that. But COVID had other plans, so we're even thinking that we can't do the show in December here in San Francisco. I have learned, because once COVID happened in March, I was like, well, let's move everything over to August. And then August comes around and it's like, well, let's move everything over to October. So I've just learned that 2020 is just canceled. Like
It is.
anything I've tried to schedule for 2020 has just been a disaster. So I think we're gonna have to make the uncomfortable decision to just not do the show in December. It's going to be a big letdown for people. Anyway, so I play Dorothy Zbornak, and I have three other friends, obviously, who play the other girls. And it's a really fun production. And I just love the actual television show. Did you watch The Golden Girls, Josh?
Growing up, yes, I've actually just recently rediscovered it. I have some friends in New Orleans, one of the stops on our virtual 5K tour, that have kind of re-engaged me to it. So I've watched literally one episode in the last month, but for the first time in years. Okay, so I'm
Oh,
getting there. I'm learning, but I trust me, I'm not where
it's
you are.
okay. It's you as to be an ally, Josh. You don't have to watch The Golden Girls, but
That's
actually,
not what I was
this is
told.
interesting. We
That's
we
not what I
did
was
take the
told.
production. We took the production to New Orleans. We did a show at Southern Rep in New Orleans, and we also did a show at a club called Le Chat Noir, which is no
I know
longer there. But I do love New Orleans. It's one of my favorite cities.
it's actually a quick drive, and I was led astray, I guess, because I was told I had to watch the Golden Girls as part of my uh, education, let's so to speak. So we'll work on my pop culture and Golden Girls knowledge before we get into any of the other virtual 5Ks.
Well, Josh, let's start with Golden Girls, and that'll be your gateway into Joan Crawford, Judy Garland, and all that other stuff. So, we will. It'll be like Clockwork Orange. We'll have you there with your eyes, open, and show you Betty Davis and The Wizard of Oz.
So actually, this though brings up a really cool point, and I actually didn't connect the dots here. I was talking about moving things. I was actually set to leave on a vacation out of the country today. Obviously, we had to push that back, and then we pushed it back to December, and then we realized we're probably not going to be able to leave the country. So on my vacation, I'm bringing my family out to California, and we are going to go through San Francisco in December. So tell me, what if you were showing someone for the first time San Francisco, the vibrant gay community? Talk to me about what you would do and what you would show them and encourage them to go see and do.
Well, first of all, if they've never been to San Francisco before, I would
Modesty.
take them to all the things that people have to go see. A real San Franciscan person never takes the cable car ride, but whenever they have a visitor come, they have to take a cable car ride with them. Of course, we would take a drive across the Golden Gate Bridge that you're looking at right now, and we'd go to Sausalito. I never go to Fisherman's Wharf that you're looking at right now because it's the equivalent if you live in New York City to going to Times Square. But
Uh,
um, but you have to go and check it out. I went to see Lady Gaga here at AT&T Park. I wouldn't do what that guy's doing, but I like the way he looks. So I would take maybe a cruise around the bay. We're looking at all these things that, yes, I have done. There's the port building. Okay, so I would go see Coit Tower. I would take them to the Castro, which you're looking at right now. I would take them to Haight-Ashbury. Definitely lots of things to see in Golden Gate Park. There is the Japanese tea gardens. There's the De Young Museum. Right now, you're looking at Lombard Street, the famous Crooked Street in San Francisco. One fabulous thing about San Francisco is that no matter where you drive in any direction, you will come across stunning scenery. You can drive along Highway 1 and towards Santa Cruz, and it's some fabulous, fabulous scenery. You can drive over to Marin, Mount Tamalpais. There's lots of fabulous nature to look at. There's lots of great shopping. There's vibrant neighborhoods like the Mission, the Richmond, and there's Ocean Beach. There's just tons of things to see. And so it is funny. Maybe you have this experience. You can get really blasé and jaded about where you live. But whenever I have somebody come to visit me in San Francisco and I show them around, I fall in love with the city all over again because I am proud of the stunning beauty and the history of San Francisco.
I've actually never been, and so it'll be our first time going through the city. And so you've mentioned a neighborhood or a district called the Castro. Talk to me a little bit about that. What is this area? Because I've never been to San Francisco. I don't know a lot about it. Talk to me about the Castro a little bit.
Okay, well, the Castro was a an Irish American neighborhood that kind of came to be in the early and mid 20th century. When the hippie movement happened in the 60s, right up the hill from the Castro in the Haight, I think a lot of the Irish American families got kind of freaked out and they left the neighborhood. And of course, what do gays do? They move into neighborhoods that are derelict and run down. They move in and they fix up the neighborhood and it becomes a desirable neighborhood. So that's kind of what happened. All these gay people moved into the Castro and it became the gay epicenter of San Francisco. The gay area of San Francisco before the Castro was up in the Polk section, Polk Street. And then the focus became the Castro, and actually Harvey Milk's camera shop was on Castro Street. And so it just became just naturally, organically, it became the gay neighborhood, and that started in the 1970s, and it's been the gay neighborhood ever since. I think that people feel less and less the need to keep themselves into neighborhoods. Like now, I think gay people, it's okay for them to live anywhere. They don't have to be in the gay ghetto, you know. But I think back in the 70s, it was more important to have a community like that because there wasn't this
So,
massive, this mainstream acceptance.
so you talked about that though, the fact that this has been a derelict community in the past, but frankly, the gay community built it up. Talk to me about some of the cool things there in the Castro district. I mean, again, I know nothing about it. I'm literally on Google looking at it right now. I mean, there's a theater there. So talk to me about that area, though. Like, talk to me about the vibrant area it is. There's my dog Landry joining us.
Well, the theater you just mentioned is the Castro Theater, and it's a historic theater that was built in the early 20th century, and it's become the jewel in the crown of the Castro. It's where all of the, the film festivals, they all happen there at that theater. A lot of the events that I do, drag related, movie related, they're all based in the Castro Theater. It's a stunning building, and if you do come to San Francisco, you have to take a tour, or better yet, buy a movie ticket and just go see a movie there. And because movie theaters like that are becoming so rare. Of course, nightlife is a huge part of the Castro. That is where all the not all the gay bars, but that's where the majority of the gay bars are, and you can go bar hopping, and it's just a great place to socialize. in normal times, it's a great place to socialize. But
Yes,
I did drive through the Castro last night, and the ingenuity of not just the gay community, but just people in general, restaurant owners and bar owners. They had to build outside areas, for their business, so people were out on the sidewalks drinking and eating, and you know, you can't kill the nightlife or the spirit of the Castro. It survived a
that's
lot worse
amazing.
things than COVID. So
That's amazing. The vibrancy. You were talking though about like how resilient people in general are in coming together throughout this COVID. I've been shocked. I've been shocked by going even in our downtown community or our beach community where I live in Florida and seeing people coming together, innovating in ways that you would have never thought. I mean, I went out and got a gallon jug of margaritas the other day and just walked down the street with my gallon jug of margarita in the middle of the Bible Belt. And so this
did
is
you drink the whole gallon of margaritas?
no, that's a different story. But
Okay.
um, so real quick, I want to know a little bit more about you, but I also want to know a little bit about the folks that we have joining us on social media. I don't know if our production partners have the ability to check in on Facebook. I'll give them a second to see if we can pull up some of the comments, but I actually see a few people already commenting. We have Giselle, who is actually going to be one of our drag performers helping us out on one of our races on the virtual 5K tour. We also have some other folks checking in. I want to say hey to Ryan Robinson, tagging a friend, Norman Pingley, saying we should do this race. Yes, you should do this race. You can do it anytime. Just because I'm on your computer screen talking does not mean that you can't sign up later. Yes, we're live, but we're only live for an hour. This is the beauty of a virtual race. You can do it anytime. The $45 that you get that you spend will go to a T-shirt, go to a medal, and it will go to benefit the Mercury Phoenix Trust. So I definitely want to shout you guys out on Facebook. Say hi to us. Laura Ling says hi, Heklina. So hello.
Hello.
But check out, say hello to us on Facebook. Drop some of your files of pictures, videos, whatever it is. Drop it in our Dropbox. I know that it was giving us some trouble with posting photos, so please engage with us that way. We want to see you on your run and see what you are up to on this awesome Saturday morning here in San Francisco. Now, moving on though a little bit, I want to know a little bit more about you, Heklina. We've talked a little bit about your shows, your tour, kind of hanging out in the San Francisco area. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about how long have you been a performer in drag?
Well, thank you so much for asking, Josh. I have been doing drag. I began doing drag in the mid 90s. I would say that I began doing drag seriously in 1995, and then I started a nightclub in 1996, which became very successful. I kind of ran with that. I started to learn how to do drag. I didn't know how to do drag when I first started, but I became, I guess, a famous drag queen. I'm about as famous as you can get right now without actually being on RuPaul's Drag Race. So I've traveled the world. So one thing is about drag, and I'm so grateful for this. It's allowed me to make a living doing what I love doing, which is getting in front of audiences. And I cannot wait until I'm able to do that again. It does feel very strange, this format of doing drag within the little computer screen. On the one hand, the pros are that the drag is very simple and the commute is really simple. I go from my closet over to my kitchen, but I do miss being in front of crowds. So to answer your question, I started drag in the mid 90s. I became kind of well known for it. I opened a nightclub. Then I bought a nightclub called Oasis, and that became a big sensation here in San Francisco. I just recently bought a home in Palm Springs, so I'm going to start doing drag events down in Palm Springs once we can do those. So yeah, I guess I'm a famous entrepreneur, impresario, producer of drag events.
So tell me a little bit for somebody who does not do drag. Tell me what is it about being a drag queen other than just the performance factor? What is it that drew you to this lifestyle, and then frankly to the persona? Talk to me a bit about the origins of that.
Well, I guess I always wanted to be a performer. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a movie star or a rock star, all that stuff. So I always wanted to be kind of, yeah, I wanted to get in front of audiences. And when I started to dabble in drag, I enjoyed the feeling, the empowerment that you feel when you do get in front of an audience with all this makeup and hair on. You know what I mean? You're able to amplify your personality. So I had a lot of fun doing that. And For me, drag was, yeah, I guess a gateway into a life that lets me, not have to work in a cubicle. Not there's nothing against people who make a living in the 9 to 5 world, but it just wasn't ever something that was right for me. And I've met a lot of amazing, interesting people doing what I do, so I just love doing it. Like anything that you do, it can become a grind. So right before COVID, I was like, oh, I'm so burnt out on performing in front of audiences. And now, it's funny what you take for granted. Now I just can't wait to get in front of audiences again. So hopefully when you come to San Francisco, Josh, with your family, you can come to one of my shows.
I would love that. And actually, so let me ask you: are you still involved with the Oasis? Is that still a thing there in San Francisco?
It is Oasis. Actually, I sold my share of the Oasis because
Okay.
I'm making kind of a. This is kind of shocking because I've been so associated with San Francisco for the past 25 years, but I did make the decision recently to move down to Palm Springs. So actually, right now, this apartment I'm in, I'm moving out on October 1st and moving down full time to Palm Springs. So
Oh wow.
I did give up my share of Oasis.
So that's a big move. That's a big jump. And but obviously you're hoping to get involved in the community there and do essentially you. I mean, you said you've become famous in San Francisco. Well, now you're gonna be famous in San Francisco and Palm Springs, I assume. So that's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I've done shows already in Palm Springs, and Palm Springs, of course, the demographic is a bit older, so it's there's not a lot of late night things there. A lot of drag in Palm Springs is brunch, or early things. So I have to get used to, I was very nocturnal here in San Francisco. When I was younger, I was, out until 4 or 5 in the morning and sleeping all day, and of course, the schedule is much different in Palm Springs. You get up at 6 a.m. and you go to bed at 9 p.m. I'm sorry. I'm
Like
sorry, my
me.
cat. Is my cat bothering you?
No, no, not at all.
Okay.
But the cat needs some modesty. It is again a family show this morning, so
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Sorry
jo-
about that.
I'm joking. I'm joking. Um, so I mean, we talked a little bit about the start of drag for you, and tell me a little bit. I mean, because we've seen a few of the pictures. What is your kind of your favorite? I mean, I see blue, I see pink. Talk to me about some of your how you've designed who you are, your look over the years. Kind of what's your kind of favorite way to appear.
Well, you're very sweet, Josh, to ask. I would say because I am not I don't have I don't have feminine features. Like, some queens are blessed to have, feminine features and they're smaller. I'm a big girl, so I have to have big hair. And I have to have outlandish outfits, big hip pads, all that stuff. It has to be kind of larger than life. So that's what I look for. I don't go for any certain color. I just look for something that's going to catch your eye. So that is I also don't have a definite, like, there's some drag queens I know who only wear blonde hair and they only wear the color red, or they only, like, something is their thing. I don't really have that. That's not really my thing. I just do whatever I feel like doing, and I do have people making me stuff, because a lot of things that I wear you can't just buy off the rack at Marshalls or whatever. So I have to have stuff made for me.
And I love it. I mean, seriously, that is. I mean, you are. a presence. And I mean, I hate the fact that we're only in this 2D medium here, but all the pictures I'm seeing, and you are a vibrant, almost a force to be reckoned with in a great way there. So that's fantastic.
Josh, you were really flattering me. I'm going to have to ask you to please tone it down
I'm
because I know
sorry.
you have a
I'm
wife
sorry.
and kids, so I'm getting
Very sorry.
uncomfortable.
Uh
Yeah,
oh.
you're
Uh
making
oh. Okay. All right. We'll slow it down. We'll slow it down. It's not even 9 o'clock in the morning there on the West Coast. So we'll turn it down and we'll save that for later on. So
I'm just teasing.
by the way, hi Katie. Katie said she was running indoors because of some of the effects of the wildfires there. So thanks for joining us, Katie. Thanks for jumping in and running with us. I see all of you people that are engaging with us. Everyone that's on Facebook, do me a favor, share this. I want your friends, your family, everybody who's out and about doing the 5K, anybody who's in the run community, anybody, I want them to do this no matter where they are, because again, we are benefiting a great organization in the Mercury Phoenix Trust. It is Freddie Mercury Day. It is a great day, Freddie, for a day. A lot of people around the world are donning mustaches. I have to admit, I don't look good with a mustache. I've had to go the full beard there. But again, the Mercury Phoenix Trust is a great organization that raises money around the world to fight AIDS and bring awareness to the HIV and AIDS pandemic. And they fund research and everything from the large NGOs and the huge charities, but also to the grassroots campaigns out there as well. So it is a worthwhile charity. It is a great event. And this is our first one. This is our first event that we're doing. We would love some of your input if you like this format, if there's things that we should change, if there's things that we need to do better. Please let us know, because this is for you. This is a way for us to bring people together. This is not something that we're out doing think we're making a ton of money or anything like that. We're doing this to bring communities together and raise some money for a great organization. So we want to see you guys involved and on social media sharing the whole nine. So please do me that favor.
Oh, I see
Sherry Vine,
Sherry Vine. Sherry Vine is commenting. Hi,
good
Sherry.
morning.
So
Hey,
Sherry
Sherry.
is one of the queens. She's representing New York City for the race.
Oh,
She'll be
fantastic. So we can't wait for that. I think that is in 2 weeks from now. I
now. Are
believe
you
we're doing
hosting?
Miami,
Are
then
you
New York.
hosting every one of them, Josh?
I am going to be co-hosting everyone. Hopefully you guys don't run me off and tell me I'm terrible. But yeah, hopefully I will be doing all four races. Again, we have Miami coming up, then New York, and then we're going to end in New Orleans, right down I-10 from me. Actually, I think we have the schedule. If I'll give the production folks a second if they can throw that up. There we go. Miami next week. Beautiful Miami. Miami Beach is a fantastic area. I love going down to Miami. New York, they have persevered in a huge way through the COVID pandemic. So
Yeah.
what a resilient community. And then New Orleans. New Orleans is the place that has the ability to throw a party no matter what's going on. If it's a hurricane, if it's a pandemic, they figure it out. So I'm excited to end our 4 week virtual tour in New Orleans. So, Heklina, out of those four, other than San Francisco, so the remaining three, have you been to New York and Miami? You talked a little bit about New Orleans. Um, Talk to me about maybe your travels.
Well, first of all, I want to say that the name San Francisco is spelled wrong on the little
Uh
the
oh.
graph that was just showed.
Uh oh.
It's Francisco, not S. I'm just sorry, just as a San Franciscan, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
of
that
course.
I'm pretty sure I'm correct. But I might be I might be going crazy. Anyway, I'm so sorry, but that's beside the point. Yes, I have been to Miami. I did a bunch of shows in Fort Lauderdale, and I love it there. It's so gorgeous. And I also went on a bunch of cruises, like cruise line things that departed from Fort Lauderdale. So New York City, I've had a long history with actually Sherry Vine, who is your New York City queen. I go way back with her. I first met her in New York City. I used to go night clubbing there, and I'm friends with a lot of the queens there, like Lady Bunny and Joey Arias, and a lot of the people who have moved away from there, like Jackie B. Anyway, it's a fantastic city, and it's so sad to know right now that it's going through a really hard time, like a lot of cities, like San Francisco. These great cities are going through a hard time right now because a lot of the reasons why you move to New York City or San Francisco is so you can do things like go to nightlife, go to museums, go to rock concerts, go to restaurants, go to all that stuff. So I think these cities will bounce back, but we're all having a hard time right now. But I love that you can feature New York City and a lot of the great things about it. New Orleans, another city that has persevered through a lot of stuff, like you mentioned. I have done lots of shows in New Orleans. I've performed at One Eyed Jacks, at Le Chat Noir, like I talked about at Southern Rep, one of my favorite cities, and I did go there shortly after Katrina, and I saw a lot of the damage that happened in the Ninth Ward. And yeah, it's these are great cities, world-class cities, all four of them. Cities that do go through. I mean, San Francisco has been through the tech boom, which kind of has changed the landscape and the culture here. The city, it survived that. It survived the earthquakes. It survived lots of stuff, and so all these places will persevere, and they're all world-class cities. So yes.
So let's actually. I want to ask you, if COVID ended tomorrow, what is the first thing in San Francisco you are going out and doing? What is the first thing you're going to do that you missed that you haven't been able to do in San
Uh,
Francisco?
the first thing probably is that I would organize a show. I would put the information out on Facebook, and I would do a drag show tomorrow night to raise money for. Well, I would raise money for Oasis, which is near and dear to my heart, because they need, all these nightclubs. I would say that when I was saying people have a hard time giving money right now, I was saying because everybody needs it.
It,
Almost since day one of the pandemic, people have been like doing GoFundMe's to keep their businesses open. So the first thing I would do is do a fundraiser for nightlife here in San Francisco, and I would start out with Oasis, and then I would benefit other organizations because we've seen a lot of places close down permanently in San Francisco. They're never going to come back, and things will look a lot different when this goes away.
so yeah, again, everybody needs people to lean on, and again, we get it. It's tough for everyone, but if you are someone who has the opportunity and the means to help, again, we are helping out a fantastic charity. But you know what? We're also just again about bringing a community together. So if you have the chance, please, yeah, we want you to be a part of it. We want you to have the T-shirt. We want you to have the medal. We want you to take part in this great event that we're just starting out. But you know what? There's nothing stopping you from sharing our content. There's nothing stopping you from engaging with us on Facebook, and there's nothing stopping you from going on an awesome 5K wherever you may be, especially over the next 4 weeks. Especially again today, Freddie Mercury Day. Again, it's a fantastic day. So please, if you can, great. We want to have you involved with our our event. But if you can't, you know what? We still want you a part of our family. We still want you a part of our events, and so we look forward to having all of you guys join us again today. We've got the next 3 weeks, and you know what? Again, it doesn't. You don't have to do it today. You can do your virtual run wherever and whenever you want. Just again, today is a great day to do it in San Francisco. I don't know if we have another live look. I want to, if we do, I'd love to see if the sun's come up a little bit more. Do we have a live look? Maybe we'll give our broadcast partners a second to see if they can pull that up. Maybe not. That's okay. No big
Josh,
deal.
you're so cute.
Hey,
Yeah,
there
there we
we go.
go.
The San Francisco skyline does have a little bit of haze to it, so I get it. If you are indoors, thank you guys for running with us. Imagine that you're running through the vibrant community here in San Francisco. Is that the Golden Gate Bridge kind of peeking out in the background there?
That's the Bay Bridge right there.
Oh, the Bay Bridge. I'm sorry.
That's the bridge that goes from San Francisco over to Oakland. And it is, I can look out my window. I'm looking at my window right now, and it does look like it's clearing up and the skies are becoming less hazy. The air quality was terrible about a week ago, but really, believe me, it's a lot better this week. They are kind of. I was actually out of the country when these wildfires started, but I believe they all started from lightning, dry
Oh
lightning
man,
that
yeah.
happened. So a very strange, a lot of strange stuff. Oh, there's the pier. So that looks like a gorgeous day to go down to Fisherman's Wharf. That's where I used to leave from to go on my cruises. I used to do I used to do drag shows on a boat, and we would go around the bay. And it's a great day for a sail around the bay. Oh my God, I can't wait to get out of the house and go seize the day.
I know, I know. So again, a big. It's a Saturday. We do have COVID. So what's the rest of the day have in store for Heklina in San Francisco?
Well,
Get out
I'm
there, seize the
probably going to
day.
do, since I am in drag, I'm going to do a little Facebook Live. I'm not in drag too often or during COVID. So I'm sure Sherry Vine would say, thank goodness for that. But I am going to, and then I'm going to just go on a drive with some friends. One thing about the silver lining, if there can be one to COVID, is that it's making me do things I never would do. I'm going for a drive out in the country and probably for a hike in nature. Some people would say, Heklina, what's happened to you? What happened to the cutting edge nightlife queen you used to be? And I would say, you know what happened? COVID. I'm bored as hell. I have cabin fever in my apartment. So I'm going to go out with some friends who I quarantined with already before you judge me. And we're going to go see some nature.
That's awesome. Fantastic. And again, I'm not familiar very much with the West Coast. I haven't gotten out there a lot, but I was shocked at how much you have this vibrant community. But then just outside of San Francisco, there's a lot of beautiful areas to explore. So that's actually some great advice. I think I'm going to get outdoors later today. We in Florida, we're blessed to have a beautiful beach right down the road from us. So I think I'm going to go spend some time on the beach today. I need some sun. I'm like getting pale.
Do you mean I influenced you?
Yes, you did. You
Oh
influenced
my
me.
God, that is so sweet. And you're
Uh,
gonna go with you, and you have a wife and kid
yes.
and a
So
dog?
there and a dog and two cats.
Oh my
It's a house
God,
full.
that's like you're like a postcard of an American family. Take your wife and your kid and your dog and go for a walk on the beach. I'm glad that I was able to influence you, Josh.
Well, you have. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna binge watch some Golden Girls tonight. You've told me that's where we got to start, and then maybe move on to some Judy Garland. We'll see.
Yes. And there's a lot of actually, you know what? I should give you a list of movies to watch, references, if you want to be a real ally. But you know what? You don't have to do all that. The fact is that you're open-minded. You were blessed or cursed with the last name Gay, so you've had to kind of fight since day one to and you've been made aware of the persecution since day one.
Like I mentioned earlier, it was a strange thing. Again, having family members where I am in the South, uh, they took a very adversarial approach to having the last name. I just had fun with it. I with a shaved head and a goatee. I did do drag in middle school at a Catholic school. They did
Oh wow.
dress like your teacher day, and I chose a female teacher. In high school, I jokingly tried out as a cheerleader. And then I
Mhm.
ended up cheering for 4 years and was the only guy on the squad, captain of the squad, the whole 9 yards. So it's one of those things
Oh
that I
wow.
actually think I love the fact that I've had this last name because it's opened my mind to there are people that for real are persecuted because of their
Yeah.
lifestyle. And it's given me, again, I don't face what this community faces, but it's given me just that much taste of it to know that, you know what, bringing people together, having fun, and being proud of who you are is a great way to fight persecution and prejudice. So,
Will you do me a favor,
oh look,
Josh?
yes, yes.
Will you give me a quick cheer for the big gay 5K since you were a former cheerleader?
Oh man, it's been a long time, but let's go 5K. Woo. All right, there we go. You gotta clasp the hands there. So my
That's
wife
so
gets mad at me.
cute.
We do have a shot. Kyle Simmons, who's been very, very active on our Facebook page. Thanks, Kyle.
Oh,
Look at this. We have a whole group of runners, socially distanced, running here in San Francisco. Fantastic. I love this. Kyle, you've got a handful of folks running with you today. So thank you for joining us, Kyle. I love this photo. Keep sending your photos just because our live show is going to wrap up here in about 2.5 minutes.
what?
So yes, we're
It's
going to be
already
done.
time?
It's almost time to say goodbye. That's terrible. I do want to recognize a couple people. Leland Sage just set a new PR today. Great job, Leland. Awesome job, whatever your race is. And so one of the things, real quick, that we do in our live races is we actually have a goal bell. At the end of the race, no matter what you did to beat or meet your goals. Also, we see Chris Anderson saying, "You look gorgeous, Heklina." I could not agree more. Um,
What about Josh? Doesn't Josh look cute too? Don't you
again,
think?
nerdy white guy in a polo, as much as I can. But so I just want to say though that no matter what your goal was, whatever your goal was today, whether it was starting the race, beating a time that you've had in your mind, or if it was just getting out there and starting that first step, whatever it was, I want you to congratulate yourself, brag about it. Go on our Facebook, brag about the fact that you started today. You got out there, you ran, you put one foot in front of the other, and whatever it was you accomplished, you did something today. There's a lot of people, me included, that have just been on the couch today. You've been out already. You've gotten a 5K under your belt. So brag about it. We want to hear about it. And we are so excited that you got out here and joined us for the big gay 5K San Francisco. So we are coming to a close here, Heklina. Any parting words for our athletes and for what we have going on with the virtual big gay 5K?
I just want to say more power to you. I have a really hard time running in my high heels, but I'm here to I'm supporting you in spirit. It's a great organization that we're raising funds for, and AIDS is not over. I know that it definitely does not have the same stigma that it had back in the 80s, but it's still very much a an issue. People are still dying. People and the organizations still need your money. So thank you so much for supporting this very, very fabulous organization. It's been really amazing spending time with you, Josh. And I was really honored to be the first drag queen in the Big Gay 5K series.
Well, I have to say thank you so much for joining us on a Saturday morning. Um, Again, this is something that's new to me. Virtual races, heck, a big gay 5K is new to me. And you have made me feel at home. And I think that you have done a fantastic job of representing the awesome community there in San Francisco. And I cannot wait to get out in San Francisco and see everybody. And hopefully, you know what? I would love to come to one of your shows. Hopefully, this COVID stuff gets out of here quick, and I would love to see one of your shows live. So I do think we are coming to an end. Again, I want to real quick plug the couple of things that we have coming up. Hopefully, we've fixed the slate with the misspelled San Francisco. If not, it's fine. We'll put it up and we'll deal with that later. But I want to show real quick. I want to show we have San Francisco. That's misspelled. Sorry. But we're moving on to Miami and New York City and New Orleans in the next 3 weeks. You do not have to be in those cities to join us for these races. We want to be along with you on your 5K journey wherever you are. Plus, you sign up for a race, you get a fabulous T-shirt, and we've got 4 medals that come together to join and make one big rainbow of San
Yay!
Francisco, Miami, New York, New Orleans. So we really want to have you guys engage with us. This would look awesome on anybody's wall. So thank you. I hope that you guys are out there to share in the joy that we've had that to put this race on. Again, if you have the means, please go donate to the Mercury Phoenix Trust. You can donate through our website or through the Mercury Phoenix Trust site as well. And real quick, last few shout outs. We got Misty Guess, Ben, all joining us here. Thank you guys so much. Hello, Misty. Oh, a great live video. Thank you. So, again, I cannot thank you guys enough for joining us. Heklina, you have been fabulous. So, thank you for joining us. And I think we're going to be signing off for the day.
Love you, Josh. Love you, Big Gay 5K. Thank you. Mwah, mwah.
Kisses. Love you guys all. We will see you guys next week in Miami. We have to cut
Yay!
this